Facebook, we're back. Hopefully we stay back. Instagram, thank you for your patience there. Technology, you just never know. So lots of people are rolling on Instagram. You guys are cranking out there. So I feel like a lot of people want to hear about this conversation that we're going to talk about today. Can you get pregnant? Can you get pregnant? What do we think? I saw we had an Instagram survey. I think something like 97% of you think yes, 3% of you think no. And you might have reason to think that. But let's get into it. So I wrote a book called Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. And stick around to the end because I have an incredible free video series that I'm gifting you for free. That's like a training that you're going to get a lot of content from me. And it's all around the topic of why is it so hard for me to get pregnant and so easy for everyone else. And so we're talking emotional, nutritional, physical, supplements. So stick around to the end. I'll give you that free link so you can take advantage of this free video series because it is a game changer and just loaded with free information for you guys to help you optimize your health and your fertility because damn, that's what I want to help you with. So today's topic. So I wrote this book called Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. I specifically titled it Yes, You Can Get Pregnant to trigger the response in many of you that is, but can I? Yes, you can get pregnant. Can I? Can I get pregnant? Aren't I broken? Isn't there something wrong with me? Don't I have infertility? Isn't that what everybody told me? Doesn't that mean I'm broken? Doesn't that mean I'm not fixable? I'm being a little devil's advocate here, but the reason I titled the book is because I want to trigger you to think about the fact that perhaps you are doubting yourself so much. Perhaps you are buying into these diagnoses, these hormone levels, and letting them define you. Can you get pregnant? Chances are the answer is yes. If you are between the ages of 16 and call it 47, 48, I don't know, 49, 50, if you're going to do assisted reproductive techniques, you can get pregnant. If you have fallopian tubes and a uterus and ovaries, and they're still functioning somewhat normally, chances are you can get pregnant. If you have an AMH of a 50 or a FSH of a 50 and an AMH of a 0.01, you could probably still get pregnant. I've seen it all, guys. 16 years of clinical practice right here. Thousands of women. I have seen every single possible freaking case you can imagine. As I signed on to Instagram, and I'm probably going to start crying as I say this, as I signed on to Instagram to go live, the first video I saw was of a child that walked for the first time. And it's a client of mine who, gosh, by the time I met her, I think 8 miscarriages, a dozen IVFs, broken to pieces by the system, by the failures, by her body, by her sorrow, her hatred, her disbelief. And then I get to sign on to Instagram, and the first thing I see is this little baby walking, and it's like, she's a miracle. She's a miracle. But we believed. We didn't give up. We had to try a little harder, sure. She had to follow a diet that she didn't really love. She didn't love cutting out gluten and dairy. She didn't love changing her beauty products from toxic to non-toxic. She didn't love getting to bed at 11 o'clock. She didn't love meditating every day, but she did it. And then she started to love it because she started to see the changes in her body, and she started to feel more inspired and more hopeful and more powerful. And we did it. Yes, she had to have IVF to get pregnant. But guess what? She did it. She'd had a dozen other IVFs that didn't work. We did it. We did it. An infantile uterus, I think that means a uterus that didn't grow into its full size. Is that probably what it means? I don't know if I have an answer for that. But potentially, I mean, the uterus is a muscle. It's an organ. It can and should be able to expand like any other muscle or organ. I would look into things like acupuncture, Mayan abdominal massage, castor oil packs, really get things flowing and moving down there. But And that's another thing about, can you get pregnant, right? So I had a client say to me once, there's a big difference between wanting to get pregnant and wanting to become a mother. And she realized for herself right away that she didn't want to do fertility treatment. She didn't want to continue on this path, and she decided she wanted to adopt. And it was a very clear decision for her, and she was very happy. And so in this Can You Get Pregnant title, it does exclude things like surrogate, adoption, but I don't mentally exclude that when I'm talking about pregnancy and fertility. So it could still be your own biological child. Maybe you can't carry it. I have a lot of women that choose that route. It could still be your own child, but it's not your biological child, and you adopt that child or use a donor egg. I haven't seen that ever make a difference to any of my girls. A baby is a baby is a baby, and it's your baby. So if you can't get pregnant, if there are physical abnormalities that are limiting your ability to get pregnant, there are other modes of becoming a mother. And that is another thing to really start to embrace and understand. And if it's not meant to be your own biological child for some reason, I've never seen a woman do donor eggs and regret it, ever. I've never seen a woman do donor sperm and regret it. Their baby is their baby. And so my job, my mission, my purpose, my service to you is to help you get in the best possible shape to have that child. Whether you have it biologically or a surrogate carries it, you still got to do the work. I still need you to be the best version of yourself so you can be the best damn mom to this child, and we can help make this world a better place. If you're making those eggs, we still need you to be in the best, healthiest version of yourself. If you're trying to conceive naturally, if you're preparing for an IVF, if you're doing IUI, if you have structural issues, if you have endometriosis, PCOS, premature ovarian failure. I have 2 girls right now that are about to burst out babies that were both diagnosed with premature ovarian failure, and they both got pregnant naturally. Okay, so the biggest thing is you are not broken. You can get pregnant. Chances are you can get pregnant. There are these rare abnormalities, yes. I'm not overlooking them, but then chances are you can still become a mom, right? But you can get pregnant. Your body is fixable, it is changeable. Your fertility is fixable and it is changeable. One thing I wanted to read to you from Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, my book. It's from the introduction. I'm telling 2 stories of 2 different women that come into my clinic. And then after the stories, I say, what I see most frequently in my clinical practice is how a lot of hurt, fear, trauma, anxiety, and sorrow impede a woman's ability to get pregnant. Just like I saw with the cases I discussed, in this book, I will gently coach you back to believing in your abundant fertility. I will cheer you on while you shift from seeing all the things that are going wrong to all the improvements in your health that are ultimately improving your fertility. I want to plant this mental seed. You have the power to change your health and improve your fertility. It is not someone else's power. It is not your doctor's power who tells you your FSH is too high or your AMH is too low, or that you have endometriosis or PCOS or POA and you're never going to get pregnant. Bullshit. You have the power. You can shift this. You can change it. I am not making false promises. I have seen case after case after case of these women that were told they couldn't do it, and they did it. So you can too. What we talk about in the book is, from getting your reproductive system in check, taking care of your premenstrual symptoms, getting hormones balanced, eating optimally for exceptional health and fertility, boosting your immune system to manage any potential autoimmune conditions, eliminate harmful toxins in your life that have been scientifically proven to harm your fertility, and get you back into a place of believing you can do it. Yes, you can still get pregnant naturally at 43. If you are menstruating and ovulating, even if it's not totally regular, even if you have like a 40 or a 50-day cycle, even a 60-day cycle, you can get pregnant naturally. I have a 44-year-old who just turned 45 who just gave birth in one of my online groups. I have 45-year-olds that got pregnant naturally that are in my groups right now. Do you guys resonate with this? Does any of this inspire you? Are you feeling like someone told you you are broken and you are believing that right now? Are you living in fear? Are you living in anxiety? Are you living in the identity of infertility, which is chapter number 1 in this book, is called My Least Favorite Word. And I talk about how the word infertility sucks and how it basically is making you feel more broken and taking your power away. My AMH is a 0.99 regular cycles. Yeah, that's awesome for 43. We want an AMH right around 1. You're 1/10 below that. Go for it. My doctor said my tubes are blocked and there's nothing she can do about it. So IVF is a good option for you, though. You could still get pregnant. If you don't have tubes or if your tubes are blocked, IVF is an option for you. Or I would also look into acupuncture, Chinese herbs, Mayan abdominal massage, castor oil packs. These things have been known to unblock tubes. Is it from endometriosis? You can heal endometriosis and you can unblock those tubes. Follow the diet I have laid out in my book, Body Belief. It will help you. I have a cornate uterus. Can I get pregnant? Corner uterus, you mean unicornate? I think you mean unicornate, where it's got the one. Yes, you can get pregnant. Sometimes doctors want to remove that little lap in the middle, but you can still get pregnant with that. Yes. After this live, we're checking out the videos. Oh, okay. Yes, this resonates with you guys. Trying to reconnect. Something's going on with my Facebook. I don't know why. I'm on Wi-Fi, right? Let's see. Okay, well, hopefully, I've been doing acupuncture for 6 months after miscarriage without success. How do I know when to switch acupuncturists? I think the biggest thing is, finding someone that you really connect with and feel supported by, and someone who's willing to continue to try new things and look under different rocks. And like, are they talking to you about diet? Are they talking to you about lifestyle? Are they talking to you about herbs? Your sleep, your stress, these types of things. So I want an acupuncturist who does all those things. I think that's really important. I don't want someone who you just walk in and they just stick needles in you and leave. I don't think that's the true practice of Chinese medicine in its ultimate form. So if you feel like maybe you want to pursue somebody else, maybe you do. If you're having that calling, but it can take 6 to 9 months. Okay, I have your book. All my numbers are good. Don't understand why it hasn't happened yet. That's the other part of this, is that sometimes this is beyond our control. What I always say is preparedness and opportunity, right? So we do the best to prepare ourselves. So you're reading, yes, you can get pregnant. You're following all the advice. If you're not following all the advice, follow all the advice. All the advice. Get to sleep before 11. Make sure you manage your stress. Make sure you're meditating, taking your supplements, following the diet, all the things. Make sure you're doing all the things. And then the biggest piece is the trust. I am getting my body as prepared as possible. This isn't just my decision. There is another human, a spirit, a person that has a decision here too. And what I'm doing is I'm creating the vessel for them, the space for them. And I am ready when they are. Don't have the trust. Trust is hard, man. Trust is hard. Trust is, I feel bad. My Facebook is just still trying to reconnect over here. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if page, I think I'll lose it. I've lost weight with the healthy diet changes. I would like to gain weight. Okay, I'm going to get back to the trust piece right now, Tara, in a second. I've lost weight with the diet changes. I would like to gain weight, Rex. Add more fat. So do like full fat coconut milk, do avocados, healthy carbohydrates, eat every 2 to 3 hours, try not to go too long without meals, coconut oil and kind of everything. Just making sure you're eating enough. I think that's really important. People tend to do the dietary changes and they're not eating enough. Is it possible to get pregnant with fibroids? Of course it is. I would, so the biggest thing, I want to go back to the trust piece on Tara. But I think the biggest thing that I preach that is so important is that your fertility is an extension of your health. They are not separate. They can never be separated. And your health is mental, it's emotional, it's physical, and it's nutritional. Okay, I just saw a thumbs up come up on Facebook. Can you guys still see me? Because my computer says trying to reconnect. Beth, you comment, you're fine. Facebook has been consistently connected on our, okay, thank you. So your health and your fertility are interrelated, and that health is nutritional, physical, mental, emotional. They all need to be in check. They don't need to be perfect, but they need to be in check for fertility to truly thrive the way it should. So that's your work. That's your responsibility. You need to, I was talking with my group before I came on live about what do we think, like these are girls that know me really well. I go live every week in my Yes You Can Get Pregnant e-course group, and I coach all of them and, you know, give them the best tools possible to get them pregnant ASAP and help them heal radically, mentally, emotionally, physically, and nutritionally. And I said to them, we had some extra time. I said, so I'm going to go live and I'm going to talk about this conversation of like, can you get pregnant? What do you guys think? You know, after knowing me for so long and reading my book and being at this and knowing your community, what do you think is in girls' ways? This is what they said. Worthiness. They don't feel worthy of becoming a mom. They have a fear of advocating for themselves. They have a fear of taking responsibility for their own health. They'd rather blame it on their age, on their numbers, on what their doctor said, on their disease. They don't own their power, and they're really good at self-sabotaging. Now, they are talking about themselves too, and then we got into this whole conversation of like, I don't have fear around fertility. I'm 45. I'm not worried about my fertility. If I want to have a second child, I know I can and I will. You know, I'm not afraid of that at all because it's my business and it's what I see day in, day out. I have the luxury of seeing so many women have success. That I don't have that belief that it can't happen, right? But when it comes to money, sometimes I'm a little tight and I have these limiting beliefs. And sometimes in my relationship, because we've had some challenges, I have these limiting beliefs, right? So I understand where sabotage plays a role. I understand where not taking responsibility plays a role. It might not be for me with my health or my fertility, but it's in other avenues. And so for all of us to begin to look at that of like, okay, am I doing my best to prepare my body? That is your job. You cannot just take what your doctor says and then you just say, okay, so I'm screwed. IVF is my only option or donor egg is my only option. You can, if that feels right to you, go for it. That's fine. But you have so much power here, okay? Everybody, you can see and hear you. How can I join your group? Beth can message you, Chawi, on how to join that group and how to get in. It's a membership group, so we'll give you the information. It's called the Yes You Can Get Pregnant e-course. It goes along with the book, and I teach so much more than just the book because, you know, I wrote the book almost 6 years ago. I've learned a ton since, and I go live every week in that group, and these girls are just the best. The community is the bomb, and these girls are the best, and a lot of them are pregnant and continuing to get pregnant, and it's awesome. But going back to this thing of like, yes, you can get pregnant. You can. Not can I, you can. Again, barring these rare structural abnormalities, but then you can still be a mother. There are still avenues for you. And if there is structural blockages, like, you know, your tubes are blocked from something like endometriosis, there are things you can do to probably unblock those tubes. There also is IVF as an option. I know that's not an option for everyone, but there are ways to shift this, okay? I have seen girls been told that their tubes are blocked, endometriosis covers their entire body, they'll never conceive naturally. They had to do my diet and my lifestyle for a year and a half, but guess what? It worked. So how committed are you? How much responsibility are you willing to take? What are the changes you're willing to make? And most importantly, are you willing to believe in your body? Are you willing to trust the process? And that is really hard for a lot of people. You know, myself included, like, and not necessarily, like I said, with my health or my fertility, but, you know, trusting the process in other pieces of my life can get a little hairy at times, right? Because you want to see the evidence of it right now. And, you know, I think of Abraham, my spiritual teacher, and she would say, you don't plant a seed of corn and then stand over it and scream at it for 10 minutes. Grow, grow, grow. No, you understand there's a process here. You planted the seed and it's going to take a while before it starts to grow into this plant. So it's the same thing. Your job is to be planting the seeds. Your job is to be prepared, connected, supportive of your body, to do all the things you can do to look emotionally, physically, nutritionally, and at your supplements, to read these types of books, to follow the plan, to follow someone like me who got naturally pregnant in her 40s and has helped thousands of women. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I've seen every single possible case that is out there. I know what I'm talking about, right? So, how do we join your Yes You Can Get Pregnant Facebook group? Again, why don't you private message us on Instagram and we'll give you the information, okay? Thank you so much. Okay, only members, the e-coach only once. You can also get into the e-course if you coach with me. So it's open all year round, but you have to coach with me privately to get access to the course. But Beth can send you guys both the information. We talk about recurrent miscarriage. Yeah, I probably missed that. Able to get a positive pregnancy test for first trimester miscarriage. So chances are recurrent miscarriages, you got to follow everything I write out in Body Belief. You need to see someone like Dr. Andrea Vidali, who has worked with Dr. Jeffrey Braverman. Their website is preventmiscarriage.com. Typically, if you're having habitual miscarriages, it is an issue with your immune system and or clotting disorder in your blood. So you need to see a hematologist and or a reproductive immunologist ASAP. So the guys I like, Dr. Vidali at, I think they're calling it Braverman Immunology now, but the website is preventmiscarriage.com. Jonathan, he's at Sinai in New York, and not Share Reproductive Institute, not SIRM, but Jonathan Share. Dr. Kofinas, those, and Dr. KK, Quack Kim, she's in Chicago. I think those are probably your 4 best doctors for anyone dealing with recurrent miscarriages. You should not have more than 1 miscarriage in between live births. If you have more than 1 miscarriage in between live births, there's something else going on. Typically, it's an immune system issue. My book, Body Belief, addresses those immune system issues, coupled with, yes, you can get pregnant, but Body Belief really gets into the immune system issues, which you need to address. You also need to see a reproductive immunologist, and you need to probably see a hematologist, and make sure you don't have clotting factor disorders. Make sure you don't have an autoimmune condition that's causing the miscarriages. Yeah, I've had 3 miscarriages in the last 12 months, 2 were donor eggs, right? So something else is going on, sweetie. I send you so much love because that just sucks. But that is not an egg quality issue. That is probably a clotting factor disorder and or an immune system issue. And you need to address that. You need to be taking steroids and a blood thinner and probably some other immunosuppressants. Do I take clients in Canada? So I'm only in New York to physically see clients, but I work with women all over the world through my online programs and through my online coaching. And then again, too, like I Can't Get Pregnant e-course will be opening the end of September, the end of this month for enrollment, which you guys are welcome to join, of course. You can also join it at any time if you coach privately with me. So if you head over to aimeeraupp.com and see the ways to work with Aimee, you can get all that information there. And so to wrap this up too, and to leave you guys with some things you can do on your own, go to aimeeraupp.com/why. aimeeraupp.com/why. I'm in New York and I see you for consultation. You definitely can. Just private message me on Instagram and I'll give you the information on how to get in touch with me, okay? You definitely can see me in New York City. And then I would also at the same time go to either preventmiscarriage.com and get a consult with Dr. Vidali, or go see Jonathan Share. I love him. He's like the sweetest man in the world. And so is Vidali. They're just geniuses at this. But you probably never needed it. I mean, I don't even know your case. I'm just going to make an assumption you might not have ever needed a donor egg. You probably have to fix the autoimmune stuff that's going on inside of you, and then you won't miscarry anymore. So I send you so much love, but I've seen your case more times than I'd like to talk about. So the girl that I was crying about when I first came on live, if you missed that, that was her case right there. And she's got a beautiful baby who just started walking, and I just got to see that video on Instagram. So yeah, reach out to me through Instagram, and then private message me or DM, whatever they say is the terminology, and we'll get in touch with you and get you in. So go to aimeeraupp.com/why and take advantage of this free video series. It's basically, why is it so hard for me to get pregnant? And I There's 4 videos in there. It's really in-depth training on the things you can do to optimize your health and your fertility now to get pregnant faster. Check out my book, Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. Keep an eye out for my Yes, You Can Get Pregnant e-course. The doors are going to be opening soon for enrollment. It's an incredible course with an incredible community. You can learn all about it on my website, aimeeraupp.com. Okay, guys, until next week, I will see you then. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, head over to aimeeraupp.com/why and take advantage of this free video training. It will give you so many answers and help you take real actionable steps towards optimizing your fertility right now. Is there limited space? In the e-course? No, there's actually not. There's limited space to coach with me privately, but there's not limited space for the entry-level e-course access, which doesn't include private coaching. Okay, and Tara, and Tara too, the trust piece, I addressed that in this video series, so really check it out because I always address the emotional piece, guys. It's like my biggest thing. Like, yes, I talk about diet. Yes, I know what supplements you need. I know all that stuff, and I've learned it all, and acupuncture and Chinese medicine, all really important. The emotional, spiritual piece, my game, and it's where I really help you heal radically and shift so many things. Okay. I love you guys. I love you guys. Don't give up hope.